Essentials of literature. Literature is the artistic expression of thought, which is replete with feelings and imagination. It is expressed in such an untechnical form as to make it intelligible and give aesthetic pleasure and relief to the mind of the common man. According to Lord Morelli, literature consists of all books where moral truth and human passion are touched with a certain largeness, sanity, and attraction of form. It enables us to look at nature with new eyes. It interprets with charm of language the experiences and spiritual intuitions of man. Whenever thought is embodied in forms that appeal to our ideals, sensibilities and tastes rather than in forms that appear merely or mainly to the speculative reason or the logical faculty, literature may be said to exist. In other words, literature heightens our awareness of human life. Literature is one of the instruments, and one of the most powerful instruments for forming character, for giving us, characters armed with reason, braced by knowledge, clothed with steadfastness and courage, and inspired by the public spirit and public virtue of which it has been well said that they are the brightest ornaments of the mind of man. Bacon is right, when he bids us read not to contradict and refute, nor to believe and take for granted, nor to find talk in discourse, but to weigh and to consider. Thus, literature enables us to weigh and to consider. In a nutshell, thought, feeling, imagination and beauty of style and form, are equally essential to literature. According to Lowes Dickinson, to feel, and in order to express, or at least to understand the expression of all that is lovely in nature, of all that is poignant and sensitive in man, is to us in itself a sufficient end. A rose in a moonlight garden, the shadow of tress on the turf, almond blossom, scent of pine, the wine cup and guitar, these and the pathos of life and death, the long embrace, the hand stretched out in vain, the moment that glides forever away into the shadow and hush of the haunted stretched out in vain, the moment that glides forever away into the shadow and hush of the haunted past, all that we have, all that eludes us, a bird on the wing, a perfume escaped on the gale, to all these things we are trained to respond, and the response is what we call literature. Literature consists of all the books where moral truth and human passion are touched with a certain largeness, sanity and attraction of form. The literary student is one who through books explores the strange voyages of man's moral reason, the impulses of the human heart, the chances and changes that have overtaken human ideals of virtue and happiness, of conduct and manners, and the shifting fortunes of great conceptions of truth and virtue. Poets, dramatists, humorists, satirists, masters of fiction, the great preachers, the character writers, the maxim writers, the great political orators, they all are men of literature insofar as they teach us to know man and to know human nature. According to Emerson, literature is the record of best thoughts. By literature, we mean the written thoughts and feelings of intelligent men and women arranged in a way that shall give pleasure to the reader. So, the aim of a student of literature is to know the best that has been thought in the world. The object of reading is not to dip into everything that even wise men have ever written, but, according to Cardinal Newman, the object of literature is to open the mind, to correct it, to refine, to enable it to comprehend and digest its knowledge, to give it power over its own faculties, application, flexibility, method, critical exact, sagacity, address, and expressions. These are the objects of that intellectual perfection which a literary education is destined to give.